One is welcome here. You're welcome here regardless of your age, your race, your income, your religion, or the gender with which you identify. You are welcome here regardless of who you love, who you vote for, the regrets that burden you, or the mistakes you have made. In this beloved community, we support each other in the sacred task of becoming, celebrate the transcending mystery of life, and rely on the transforming power of love. Here we revere the words of the great teachers such as Jesus, the Buddha, and Confucius. It is, however, the task of every UU to be their own Buddha or their own Jesus. It is our work as a community to walk with each other along the spiritual pathways that lead towards happiness, compassion, and life fully lived. And while we are a safe harbor where there is solace and healing, we are also a launching pad from which we are propelled into the tumult of life to live courageously, justly, and lovingly. In this sacred place, we create the structures that lift up the downtrodden, set the captives free, and heal the brokenhearted. Here we have learned that to be fully human is to be fully divine, and that with a little help from our friends, we can each tell our own unique story. So good morning, friends. It's good to see you all here today. We have a special Sunday. Today is the Blessing of the Pets Sunday. So not sure what's going to happen, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. So at anyway, as a special treat to us, our board president, who is, as far as I know, the only board president of a congregation who lives, how much, 700 miles away from our congregation, is here with us. Joan is, thank you, Joan. Okay, Jean, would you come forward and light the chalice for us?
We light this chalice to honor the animals we brought here today and ones not with us today, scaled, feathered, and furred.
Thank you, Jean. Jean, as far as I know, is the only person that brought a farm animal today, so pretty cool. Going to be using up a lot of time with the animals, but I do want to continue. How many of you raised your hands last service and said you're going to do an act of kindness? A few of you tried. Yeah, okay. Well, keep your hands raised, and we're going to extend that to next week. And the challenge is if you have someone in your life that may seem disagreeable with you from time to time, to do some act of kindness for them, or with them, or to them, and to see if the level of love in your heart increases or not. It's a totally scientific experiment, and we want you to try it. I know I tried it this week on several occasions. I have a lot of opportunity to do it because of the taxing I'm currently involved in. So let's do our blessing of the animals. Before we do that, though, I have a short message. And the title of my message is Finding Your Wild Animal. When I was a freshman in high school, I joined our high school's chapter of the FFA, Future Farmers of America. Everybody familiar with that? Anybody familiar with that? Anybody a member of it? No. Okay. I raised and bred had bred three gilts, female pigs, which eventually farrowed out into 27 piglets between the three. I was awarded a beautiful blue Future Farmers of America jacket with my name in gold letters stitched above the heart. Next year, I started dating a girl, and as was the practice in those days, I gave her my jacket as a sign of our enduring love. Unfortunately, the course of love seldom runs true. The girl and I eventually broke up. I did not get my jacket back. A few months later, when I thought that things had cooled off a little bit, I called her up and asked for my jacket. She said she would be happy to give it to me, but I probably wouldn't want it, as her dog had been sleeping on it for several months. Another valuable life lesson. The idea behind my short message today is that we can learn something from the animals. I grew up on a farm in North Dakota. I spent a lot of time around domestic animals, caring for them, milking them, feeding them, and cleaning up after them. I also spent a lot of time observing wild animals, as this was before the fence rows were all torn out in eastern North Dakota, and eastern North Dakota became one huge cornfield. One thing I think I know about animals is that they exhibit a kind of vitality that seems to be missing from many of us human beings I know. Sometimes it is missing in me. One cold winter's night when I was about 12 and the temperature was around 20 below zero, I decided to put on my parka and take a walk in the moonlight. Our farmhouse was very small, and I had 3 brothers and a sister, and it was often good just to leave. It was one of those rare nights on the Great Plains when the wind is perfectly still. The moon was so bright that one could read a novel from its light as it reflected off the hard-packed snow. I came around the end of our shelter belt when I beheld a sight I will never forget. Out across the field, I saw not 1 or 2, but scores of jackrabbits doing I don't know what. They were leaping and dancing and chasing each other around. Where did they all come from? It was a jackrabbit jamboree. I was mesmerized. I just watched for 20 minutes or so. It was for me a whole experience, I would call it, though I would call it transcendent now. It occurs to me that we humans must have been wild animals at one point in our evolution. In fact, the anthropology that I read suggests we were wild animals for longer than we have had language and learned to live by complex culture. So did our ancestors at one time in our history as a species go out and jamboree in the forests, plains, and savannas? Were they like the wild animals I observed as a kid, full of vitality? Is there a way that we can recover for ourselves some of that animal vitality in our own lives? Many of you know that I do volunteer tax preparation for people of low or moderate income. I'm struck by the contrast between the vigor of the jackrabbits on that long ago night on a snowy field and the heaviness that many people bring to their tax sessions. I try to lighten their burdens as much as I can. Kindness and just being interested in people's lives seems to go a long way. Some time ago, a taxpayer came, and before I tell the story, I'm going to mention the name of a politician, and the politician could be Donald Trump, it could be Barack Obama, it could be Hillary Clinton, it could be any politician. So I'm not being political. I'm trying to make a point with this story. So a taxpayer came to my station. He was quite angry that he had to wear a face mask as a precaution against the spread of the COVID virus. He told me it was foolish to have to wear a mask and that he was tired of Joe Biden stealing his freedoms. As I prepared his taxes, I talked to him in a kindly and compassionate way, at least as much as I could. During the course of our session, he held forth that Joe Biden was evil. When I asked him why he thought that, he responded by saying that he could tell by the way that Joe walked and carried himself. When we got a little deeper into his story, he told me that the previous year he had been shot by a person who broke into his home. He blamed Joe Biden because Joe is soft on crime. When his taxes were done, he lingered a bit and we continued our conversation. He told me that being shot had altered the way he felt about life and that he had had a hard time leaving his house. He told me he lost a relationship with someone he cared about because he felt afraid so much of the time. When he did get up to leave, he shook my hand and thanked me. He came in aggressive and armored up. He left on a much lighter note. All that aggressiveness and armoring is a heavy load to carry, both for him and for us. One thing I'm still learning from that long ago cold night when I witnessed the jackrabbits dancing in the moonlight is that there is a way, there is a missing sentence. Anyway, let's say that there is a way that we can reclaim some of our animal vitality. Let me see if I can find the right page now, or if I'm just going to have to continue. No, I think I missed that one. So we have a new printer, and I'm still learning how to use it. So just let me continue by saying that Yeah, I think there is a way we can recover that vitality. And I think that way for human beings, for us, is to live in service of the good. I know that in my own life that when there are times that I'm just too in trying to endure the day to get through to bedtime, that I'm probably not too much invested in myself and not enough invested in doing what's right in the world. Now, the question you probably have on your minds is what in the world is right? How do you know what's right? Well, I think philosophy and religion and the general wisdom of society just haven't really had significantly important answers. It just seems to me that the best way is to serve the good, and that's good with a capital G. And I think we know what's good, at least in my imagination, or the way I tend to imagine. It is to imagine the good as something that's in our hearts, that we already know it. It's something inherent in the structure of our being, possibly even in the structure of the universe, that it has evolved there after 14 billion years of time. I think also another way of finding vitality and hope and passion in one's life is to be able to tell one's story. And that's what we do here. We are a vehicle so that they're the safe place so we can tell our stories here. Certainly, I think that's what I helped that young man do when I was with him doing taxes. I helped him tell a part of his story. And when we can tell our story to ears that are willing to hear it, that burden we carry around, the heavy culture of defense that we have against life, seems to dissolve away, at least part of it, and we are able then to have that vitality. That vitality is not gone; it's just buried, And so when our burdens are lifted a bit, the vitality comes back, and then again we find hope, and we find passion for living. And that is the end of my sermon. It's not the end I had, but it's the end we're getting today. So let's now. It's time, and we have a camera set up. And is my camera working now? I see a light on my camera. Did that make it? Doesn't? Okay, that's too bad. But we'll work it out. I see we have some dogs, and I know we have at least one chicken. And so what I'd like to do right now is I'd like for kids first come up and come to the camera that's right there and hold your chicken or your dog, or if some of you brought up pictures of animals that you have loved in the past and are no longer a part of you, please come forward. And Harvey, would you hold the mic over by the I just hold it by hand so that and we'll let Helena. Why don't you start? And pardon me?
What do we do?
Did you introduce your pet?
Sorry, Harvey. This is Daisy, our new puppy. She is a half Chihuahua, half Keeshond, accidental mating. We got her from a foster rescue organization this Christmas, and she loves people and she would love to jump on you all, so we're trying to keep her contained.
Okay. Thank you, Beth and Elena, for bringing that. A couple of my kids are accidents, so it's okay.
We didn't hear that.
And so can you show the picture of the puppy to the? And this is Coralie, right? Coraline. Okay, can everyone see the picture of the puppy that Coraline is showing?
This is Mommy. She's a girl, and this is Miyagi. He's a boy.
Ah, okay, cool. And Coraline, would you stand up right here? Just stand, come up. Yeah, we just stand in a line, and we'll, because we're going to honor all the animals with a, or you can leave. So, okay, did anyone else want to share their pet with us?
Okay, so we just have drawings of our animals because we couldn't bring them. You want to hold them up? You hold them up. You hold that.
Can you hold them up to the
Oh, to the camera.
camera? That would be good if you could.
Okay. So that was Eloise, and this is Pooper the fish. Eloise is a dog, and then Pooper is a goldfish.
Ah, okay. Are there any other kids, young people, who want to display their animals? We're going to get to the adults here in a bit. Liz, why don't you come up and share your dog's name? A very friendly looking dog.
This is Otis. Hi, Otis. This is
Hi,
Otis. He's 35 pounds of pure love, fun, and he loves people, animals, and other dogs.
Thank you, Liz. And I think our chicken's about to make its appearance. Hey, can you hold your chicken up to the camera and okay, and can you speak in the microphone, Jean?
So this is Puffy Nebula. She's one of our chickens. I call her that because she sort of looks like a nebula, but she also has a beard. So she always kind of looks angry, even when she's not. But I'm pretty sure that she might be because she's wearing a harness.
What kind of chicken? What kind of chicken is it?
Americanda.
Americana. Okay, thank you, Jean.
They are very loud when they lay.
Yeah, she lays blue eggs.
Oh, like a robin. How long does it take for a chicken to start laying eggs, Jean, from the time they're babies? Speak in the mic, honey.
16 weeks.
16 weeks. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, thank you guys for bringing your chicken. Now I think the floor is open to anybody who wants to share a picture. Okay, and Candace, could you like hold the mic over there by Candace? Yeah.
That's Frasier. Not as in Frasier the TV show, but Joe Frasier.
Other anybody who wants to share? Deej.
We have horses. We rescue horses. And we have like, I think now 6. We like to have 7, but as you can see, we have black, white, red, yellow. We also have a little mini horse. And we love these guys. They've been around us we've been in business 35 years, and we've had horses for 35 years. And in Lakota, the word that I can't remember is big dog. So horse and big dog are the same.
Thank you. Thank you, Deej. Elena, who do you have there?
This is Chipper. He's our Chihuahua or Chihuahua mix. We're not sure, and we've had him about 10 years, and he just brings us a lot of joy.
Could you hold Chipper up to the camera there? Oh yeah, yeah. Very cute little dog. Julie Williams.
My two cats, Tasha and Lexi, really partied hard last night, so they slept in this morning. And I was so relieved that my spider, Charlotte, who lives between the storm window and the kitchen window in my kitchen, is back. I didn't think she'd survive the winter.
Thank you, Julie. Vanessa.
I brought Rocky with me from Florida. Brought Rocky with me from Florida. He grew up on the beach watching the sunrise with me every morning. So,
Oh, cool.
it's a good
Thank
kitty,
you,
yeah.
Vanessa. Leanne.
Okay, this is my dog Wanda Woo, who is the cutest dog in the world. I'm sorry to break it to everybody, but anyway. Oh, I'm not talking into here, am I? Anyway, my dog Wanda Woo, the cutest dog in the world, and then my cat Max that I forgot to bring a picture, but anyway.
Thank you, Leanne. Are there any others who'd like to share? Jim.
This is Holly. I'm not going to pick her up because she weighs 55 pounds or 60 pounds. Just a real short story. Exactly 10 years ago this week, I took my prior dog, wasn't feeling well. I took her to the vet, and the vet said, oh, this dog is full of cancer. And she lasted about 2 days and then had to be put down on my birthday.
Oh, boy.
And at the time I still lived in Chicago. I drove back into Chicago straight from the vet, went straight to a place called Paws, which is an animal rescue shelter in Chicago, and picked her out, started filling out the paperwork, and burst into tears. And the guy said, how long, when did your prior dog die? And I said, this morning, and it's my birthday. And he took the paperwork back and said, maybe you want to go home and think about this for a couple of days. So I did. I went home and thought about it for a couple of days, went back. She was still there. So I adopted her and had her for the last 10 years. And she's a mutt.
Thank you, Jim. That's a nice story. Are there other? Anybody else want to come up and share a picture of a pet maybe that, if not, would everyone who showed a picture or had a pet come forward and just kind of stand in line up there, right there in front of the altar and face the congregation? And we have the blessing of the animals ceremony here. And did everyone have a copy in front of them? I think we have one coming on screen too, thanks to Beth. Okay, so let's begin. Today, we assemble to bless and give thanks to the animals. We bless and give thanks for our service animals. We bless and give thanks for the animals of agriculture. We bless and give thanks for the animals of the wild. We bless and give thanks for all the animals. Let us never forget that what we owe them are to them. Amen. And you please be seated. And thank you all for bringing your pets today to be blessed. And I'm sure there were some memories of pets that some of you had in the past. That. Oh, does anyone in Zoom have a pet they'd like to share? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that, Beth. Let's now take a moment to close our eyes, possibly bow your head if you want. Put your feet flat on the floor and just take a deep breath. And breathe normally as we meditate silently for a moment or two. Amen.
As we extinguish this chalice, we send the animals blessed here today and animals that could be here today wishes of a happy and full life.
Thank you, Jean. Jean, give me faith in the future. So.